Hello, amazing students. Welcome to English with Sophie. You speak English, right? You know thousands of words. You can read news articles, write emails, even debate ideas. So why does your brain suddenly go blank when native speakers talk? Why do you catch every third word in a movie but miss entire sentences in casual conversation? You're not stupid. Your English isn't bad. But something happens when natives open their mouths. The language transforms into something unrecognizable. Here's the truth. You're fluent on paper, but your ears are still learning. And that gap, it's not about vocabulary or grammar. It's something else entirely, and you've never been trained for it. Let me show you what I mean. Let's do a quick test right now. I'm going to say two sentences. Listen carefully. First sentence, I'm going to meet her at the station tomorrow morning. Got it. Easy, right? Now second sentence, I'm gonna meet her at the station tomorrow morning. Did you catch that one as clearly? Most learners understand the first perfectly but freeze on the second. Here's the shocking part. Both sentences mean exactly the same thing. Same words, same meaning, different delivery. You didn't fail that test. Your ears were trained for the wrong version of English. You learned textbook English, but natives speak connected English. That's the gap. Think about how you learned English. Your teacher probably said each word separately. Do you want to go? Clear spaces between every word, right? But when your British friend asks the same question, it sounds like, do you want to go? Where did the spaces go? They vanished. Native speakers don't say 14 individual sounds, they blend it into one smooth wave. The speed feels overwhelming because you're waiting for boundaries that don't exist. Here's the aha moment. Native English isn't actually faster. It's connected. Words merge together like links in a chain. Your brain is searching for separate words, but natives are speaking in connected sound streams. So if it's not faster, why does it feel faster? Your brain has a hidden processing delay. When you hear English, your mind opens an invisible dictionary, searches for each word, checks the meaning, then moves to the next word. By the time you've decoded going, the speaker has already said 5 more words. You're always 3 seconds behind playing catch-up. Meanwhile, native speakers don't decode words, they ride sound waves. They hear rhythm, melody, and chunks of meaning. Their brains process English like music, not mathematics. That's why a native can get a sentence even when they miss half the words. Your dictionary mode is slowing you down. The good news, we can retrain your brain to hear differently. Let's start right now. Here's your first real challenge. I'm going to say a sentence 2 ways. First way, word by word. What are you doing this weekend? Now the native way. What are you doing this weekend? Try repeating both versions out loud. Feel the difference. The first version feels robotic. The second flows like water. That flow carries meaning even when individual words blur together. This is massive. If you can feel the rhythm, you can decode the meaning without catching every word. Native listening isn't about hearing everything. It's about riding the rhythm and catching the melody of meaning. If you can feel rhythm, you can decode it. Now let's break the code completely. Welcome to the code of connection. Every language has secret rules for how sounds blend. In English, words stick together in predictable patterns. What are you becomes what are ya? Going to becomes gonna. Want to becomes wanna. These aren't mistakes or lazy speech. This is the actual structure of spoken English. Watch this transformation. What are you going to do? Becomes what are you gonna do? Visually, you can see how sounds merge at the edges where words meet. The T in what connects to the R, creating WADA. Suddenly, fast speech slows down mentally. You're not hearing chaos, you're hearing a pattern. Now that you can see it, the question is, can you hear it in real time? Time for a real-world check. I'm going to play 3 clips from actual conversations, people ordering coffee, chatting at bus stops, laughing with friends. These aren't scripted. They're fast, messy, emotional, and real. Listen to the first clip, a woman asking for directions. Catch anything, maybe excuse me, and where's the, but the middle disappeared. Second clip, 2 friends arguing about a movie. You probably caught the emotion before the words. Third clip, someone complaining about traffic. Now you're catching fragments. Can't believe. So late. Always happens. It's working. Your brain is starting to tune into the rhythm instead of hunting for perfect words. But there's one sound pattern that confuses almost everyone, even advanced learners. Let me introduce you to the disappearing sounds. In natural speech, vowels vanish, not sometimes, constantly. I'm going to go becomes I'm gonna go. That crisp AM shrinks into M, the oi in going becomes in gonna. Even familiar words vanish when vowels drop out. This is why you know the word want perfectly, but when someone says wanna, your brain doesn't recognize it. The vowel disappeared. Teachers never warn you about this because textbooks don't show vanished sounds. But native speakers do this automatically to save effort. Every going to becomes gonna. Every want to becomes wanna. Every kind of becomes kinda. Now you know why even simple words felt impossible to catch. But there's a trick native speakers use that you were never taught. Here's the trick. Natives aren't speaking carelessly, they're being efficient. Think about it. If you had to pronounce every sound and every word clearly, speaking would exhaust you. So your mouth finds shortcuts. You blur vowels, link consonants, drop sounds that don't carry meaning. It's not chaos, it's design. I call this the lazy genius rule. Native speakers unconsciously optimize speech for minimum effort and maximum clarity. When you say, I'm gonna go, you're not being sloppy, you're being smart. Your mouth is doing exactly what every native mouth does, conserving energy while maintaining understanding. This reframe is powerful. Fast speech isn't fast, it's efficient. Now the question becomes, how do you train your ear to recognize that efficiency in real time? Enter shadow mode, the most powerful ear training technique that exists. Here's how it works. I'm going to say a sentence at natural speed. Don't try to understand it. Don't translate it. Just repeat it immediately after me, matching my rhythm exactly. Ready? I don't know why she didn't show up. Now you. I don't know why she didn't show up. Feel that? Your mouth moved before your brain could analyze. That's the goal. Shadowing bypasses your dictionary mode and connects directly to rhythm. Do this enough, and your brain starts syncing with native speech patterns automatically. You're not decoding anymore, you're flowing. This is the breakthrough moment. You just took your first step into fluent listening. Now, let's make it automatic so you never freeze again. Let's break the biggest myth in listening practice. Slowing down audio helps you understand better. Wrong, dead wrong. When you slow down native speech, you destroy the natural rhythm. Connections break apart. Linked sounds separate. Gonna becomes going to again, which never happens in real life. So you train your ear for a version of English that doesn't exist. Then when you hear real speed, you panic because the rhythm is unfamiliar. Slow practice creates slow comprehension. Think about music. If you slow down a song, it doesn't sound clearer, it sounds wrong. The melody breaks, same with English. The rhythm carries the meaning. Destroy the rhythm, lose the meaning. So if slower isn't better, what's the real shortcut to understanding fast English? The shortcut is chunking. Natives don't process speech word by word, they hear it in meaning chunks. You know what I mean isn't 5 words, it's one chunk. You know what I mean. At the end of the day is one chunk, at hindathere. These chunks flow as single units of meaning. When you learn to hear chunks instead of words, everything slows down mentally. Instead of decoding 8 words, you decode 2 chunks. Your brain has less work to do. This is why natives can follow fast speech effortlessly. They're not tracking individual words. They're catching meaning chunks that flow past like train cars. You see the whole car, not every rivet. Now the challenge. Let's turn this from theory into instinct so it happens automatically. Time to feel the flow. I'm going to say 3 fast sentences. Don't try to catch every word. Focus only on the music, the ups and downs, the rhythm, the melody. Ready? I can't believe you actually thought that was a good idea. Again, I can't believe you actually thought that was a good idea. Did you catch the meaning even without hearing every word clearly? That's flow. Now second sentence. She told me she'd be here by 7, but she's always late. Feel the rhythm carrying you forward. Third sentence. If I were you, I'd probably just forget about it and move on. Notice how relaxing into the rhythm actually increases comprehension. That flow is real fluency. You're not fighting the language anymore, you're dancing with it. But here's the next challenge. Can you handle it when emotion enters the equation? Emotion changes everything. When people get excited, angry, or sarcastic, rhythm compresses and bends in wild ways. Listen to this excited sentence. Oh my God, you're never gonna believe what just happened. The speed doubles, sounds blur together, but the emotion makes it easier to understand because feeling carries meaning. Now angry. I told you 3 times already I don't want to talk about it. Louder, faster, sharper, but somehow clearer because the emotion highlights what matters. Sarcasm is trickiest. Oh yeah, that's a brilliant idea. The meaning flips based purely on tone. This is why actors and emotional natives sound too fast. They're compressing language through feeling. But here's the secret. If emotion speeds things up, there's one listening skill that slows time down completely. That skill is active anticipation, predicting what comes next based on context. Native listeners don't wait to hear every sound. They're constantly guessing ahead. If someone says, "I'm gonna go to the," your brain automatically prepares for store, park, gym, or similar words. You're anticipating sounds before they arrive. This is massive because it means you catch words before they're fully spoken. Your brain fills gaps automatically. Try this. "I can't believe she actually," what's coming? Did it? Said that. Forgot. You knew the rhythm and meaning zone even without hearing the ending. This is how natives listen. They're half a second ahead, surfing the probability wave of language. You're no longer decoding, you're dancing with English, predicting its moves. But there's one final enemy blocking your breakthrough. The enemy is the perfection trap. You believe you need to catch every single word to understand. So when you miss one word, you panic, your focus breaks. You stop listening and start worrying. What did I miss? Meanwhile, the speaker has moved on and you've lost the next 5 seconds too. Here's the truth. Real listeners miss words constantly. Natives miss words. I miss words. Everyone misses words. But we don't stop flowing. We catch the meaning from context and keep moving. Understanding is about gist, not perfection. If you catch 60% clearly and infer 30% from context, you've understood 90% of the message. The final 10%, usually irrelevant details. Stop chasing every word. Chase the meaning river. If you let go of perfection, something amazing happens next. You enter relaxed listening mode and everything becomes clearer. Here's a guided exercise. I'm going to say a paragraph at natural speed. You will miss some words, that's guaranteed. Stay calm. Focus on catching the overall meaning, not individual words. Ready. So I was walking down the street yesterday afternoon, and I bumped into Sarah. You know Sarah from work anyway. She told me about this new restaurant that just opened up near the station. Apparently it's supposed to be really good, but kind of expensive. What did you catch? The story. Ran into Sarah. She mentioned a new restaurant. It's good, but pricey. You missed some words, but got the meaning. That's real listening. Notice how staying relaxed actually increased your comprehension. Tension blocks understanding. Flow opens it. Now you're ready for the final test, full native speed with your new ears. Let's revisit real native speed with everything you've learned. I'm going to play a clip that would have overwhelmed you 20 minutes ago. Now, with your new ears tuned to rhythm, chunks, emotion, and flow, let's see what happens. Listen. "Hey, did you end up going to that thing last night? Or did you just stay home? I was gonna text you, but I figured you were probably already asleep anyway. It doesn't matter. We should definitely catch up soon, though." Play it again. This time, you caught most of it, didn't you? "Did you go to that thing last night or stay home? I almost texted you. Let's catch up soon." You understood the meaning. The speed didn't defeat you. This is your breakthrough moment, visible proof of transformation. But there's one final truth left, the biggest revelation of all. Let's go back to chapter 2. Remember the test? The sentence that felt impossible. "I'm gonna meet you at the station tomorrow morning." Listen to it now with your retrained ears. Suddenly, it's not fast anymore. It's clear. You hear "I'm gonna meet her at the station tomorrow morning" as one flowing thought. The speed vanished because it was never real. What changed? Not the English, you changed. Your brain stopped searching for separate words and started hearing connected meaning. That overwhelming blur became a clear stream. This is the final reveal. English was never fast. Your ears were simply tuned to the wrong frequency. You were listening for textbook English in a world of connected English. So if English was never actually fast, what was really missing all along? You were missing. Not your skills, not your vocabulary, your presence inside the language. Fluency isn't about understanding faster. It's about tuning in deeper. When you stop fighting English and start flowing with it, when you trade dictionary mode for rhythm mode, when you let go of perfection and embrace the music of meaning, that's when you cross over. You're no longer a learner standing outside the language, trying to decode it. You're a listener inside the language, moving with it. This is the identity shift. You don't need to slow down English. You need to tune into its natural frequency. Keep listening to real voices. Keep shadowing real rhythm. Keep trusting your ears over your eyes. You're not chasing fluency anymore. You're already inside the language now, welcome home.